ITG. As I said, this is Rob Conster of Radio ITG. Maybe it will help if I hit record. That would help just a little bit. And this is game 2 of Cell versus Time is Running Out. Cell winning the first match, and this is the second match. Time is Running Out was the lower seed. This is their map pick. It is the marvelous IsleOfWurms. And as I was saying yesterday, I was a little bit surprised to see that in the Swiss tournament. Today, I am not at all surprised to see this map in this tournament because it is heavily imbalanced in favor of the home team, being that the away teams, NPCs, pretty much get killed or are obsolete at the flag stand area. So not at all surprised to outpick this map pick. It's a smart map pick, and hopefully that they can use those advantages to their benefit. We see Time is Running Out already has 3 people going gank side, or in fact that would be 2 and the Guild Thief going gank side, capturing the tower and heading to gank out some NPCs from the base of Cell. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on the flag stand area where we have the entire Cell force. Looks to be running something completely different from what they ran last game. They have a warrior. Misaki is on that warrior. 3 mesmers. More than likely Spiritual Pain and Warstrel's Demise. Mesmers right there. Ale is falling back to deal with those gankers in the base of Cell. But pretty much he's just going to show his face and sort of persuade those guys to do otherwise. But he is going to have to engage on them. He's going to wait for TAS to step up and lend him some heals. They do also have the Guild Thief in hand for just a little bit more damage. So going to spy up Ale here. He does have Blinding Surge, so basically he's just going to blind this Dervish. And I do believe that there's a warrior back as well. And if both of those guys are blinded, there's really not much that can be done. Whistlebutt, though, is going to be having... In fact, he's a Warrior Paragon, so he's not going to be having Mending Touch with, as a ganker. I'm a little bit surprised that he is running this Warrior Paragon. He does have Remedy Signet, though, to purge off any conditions that may be on him. Ginger Kid is a Dervish Warrior, and not too much he'll be able to do about the blinds being dealt onto him. Gonna go here and spy up a little bit more on this flag stand area, see how Cell and Out are doing with equal men back at the Cell base. And pretty much we're at even ground here. Time is Running Out does currently have control of the flag stand. Edge did push up, it seems, to aggro some footmen right there on Time is Running Out. They are looking at taking out some of those footmen here, and they were able to finish off one, which is a big move early on in the game. That Archer is still standing, though. Gonna get a check on the Monks for Cell, and try and get a gauge on if they're low on energy or whatnot, or if they just sort of were spying up the wrong footmen there. I mean, since the footmen are not on the party bars of each team, it's kind of hard to see exactly what one's getting hit. And in fact, both of them were getting hit right there. So it could have been that both of the monks were on the same footman, and both healing one, thinking that the other one was all right. And, you know, that wasn't the case. One of them went down, and there was nothing that they could have done about that. So it's a tough loss. Not too big, but still those footmen can be quite helpful when the opponent is pushing into your base. Gonna go here and check out some of these mesmers and try and get a confirmation on that they are running Warstrel's Demise and Spiritual Pain. But currently we've got one running a flag out, one running down to the Health Shrine, and one at the Health Shrine right there, just spamming out Blinding Surge as often and quickly as possible on these 2 melee gankers. We do see an energy burn, and then Warstrel's Demise right there. And I mean, that's going to hurt the Dervish Warrior a little bit, and in fact, it hurt him quite enough that Ginger Kid did go down at the Health Shrine, which is currently being controlled by Cell. But, of course, Warstro's Demise is going to inflict damage on you for each spell that you have, or as I like to call it, arcane skill for you old school D&D guys. And I did see Wise and Ale both do have Warstro's Demise, but they were spamming that on Whistlebutt, which is a Warrior Paragon, and to be honest, I don't know of any Warrior or Paragon skills that are considered spells. I could be incorrect on that, but it's not going to inflict as much damage on that Warrior Paragon as it would on the Dervish Warrior. In fact, I'm just going to spy out Whistlebutt right here for a little bit and see if I can get a gauge on how much damage is being inflicted by those Warstro's Demise. And Blue Captured Tower sort of is impeding my ability to read. But Whistlebutt right now at about 5% health. He's going to go ahead and run away as quickly as possible. Gets an energy surge on him, snared down, and then a Warstro's Demise for only 28 points of damage finished him off. So again, that Warstro's Demise really isn't putting too much damage on the Warrior Paragon, but you know, when you have less than 28 points of health, it is going to be sufficient to knock you out. So Whistlebutt is down. Ginger Kid did resurrect back at the base at 6 minutes. And it does look like he is going to be heading for that Health Shrine. Is prepping up Avatar of a Melendru, which gives you a nice health boost, as well as protects you from any kind of conditions. And that does seem to be his condition prevention on that bar. So if he is back at base ganking and is in the form of Avatar of a Melendru, he's not going to be able to get blinded. However, once that Avatar does wane, he's going to be able to get blinded, and there's going to be nothing that he can do about that. So going to go ahead and get a gauge here on Edge Warrior. He is the Warrior on Time is Running Out that pretty much has been at this flag stand the whole entire match. He does have a crippling sweep, which is his elite, to snare down whatever opponent that he is currently engaging. Vegana, though, was finished off on out up here at the stand. One of those monks quickly resurrected, but being kited by Saki of Cell. Cell does break off from his target and retreats back to punish some of the front line of Time is Running Out. Just getting a scope around the map right here. And we do have Ginger Kid and Whistlebutt back at that Health Shrine. They did just cap it. However, we do have 3 members. In fact, 2 plus the Guild Thief. Although I think it's I'm going to zoom on over there and check it out. We've got Tass, Yes, Ale, and Wise. All 2 Mesmers, and one of those, or sorry, the runner, the Monk Elementalist runner. And they will engage on those members of Time is Running Out, but Out is not going to play ball back there at the shrine. They're just going to go ahead and retreat back to base and allow Cell to cap that shrine. But pretty much what that's doing is it's sort of going to give them a power play for a little bit up here at the flag stand. As with those members of Cell back at the Health Shrine and having all 8 members of Out up at the flag stand, as we can already see, they are going to be pushing Cell back towards their base. Edic did just get a flag out. The gate on Cell is still up, but it is closed, so they shouldn't be able to get it in without that Thief, which right now is at 50% health. Edic plops that flag on the stand at 9 minutes and 24 seconds. dishes out some spike skills over there on Vegana, as well as Edge was getting a little hate right there. But some nice protection by Out was able to subvert all of that damage, and Cell was unable to get any kills off of that onslaught. Edic should be retreating back to base right about now for another flag, I would only assume. Although it does look like they are dual running the flag right here, as Task currently has the flag in hand and pushing it up to the stand. Caps it with about 1 minute 20 seconds left on the Out morale clock. So pretty even on flags right here. What is Iway, however, on Out was just finished off by Cell. And Cell continues to rack up the DP on Out, and I don't think Cell has even had a single member go down this entire match. And by match, I do mean the first game and this game. Working on a complete flawless overtime is running out right now. A couple of the members of Cell going back to that health shrine to cap it. Ginger Kid and Whistlebutt were back there to cap that shrine. And pretty much they're going to try the same exact thing that they did before. Force Cell to cap that shrine. Retreat back to the flag stand area. And try and get some done, or try and get some work done 8v6. However, of course, whenever they go back to cap that shrine themselves, they are putting themselves at a 6v8 disadvantage as well. But despite that, Out is still pushing in to Cell, getting some ground, but again, they need to capitalize on this and get some sort of kill going in here on forcing these power plays. Eric Claire on Cell was damaged a little bit. But again, great protection by both of these monks on Cell. Is able to subvert almost all of that damage. Just going to get a gauge here on what exactly these monks are running. And it is just your basic healing protection hybrid. Redneck is just pretty much spamming out Reversal of Fortune as often as possible. Some Signet of Devotion to boot. Not too sure on what his elite is as of yet. It could be like a Divert Hex or whatnot, which Time is Running Out really isn't running any hexes, so that skill would be pretty much obsolete. He's running Hexbreaker though, which is pretty interesting. But really, Redneck, a pre-prot right there on Eric Claire, which is cutting around Edge. But pretty much just a whole bunch of Reversal of Fortune and Signet of Devotion. He does have Holy Veil, though, to remove hexes. So he probably does not have Divert Hexes or anything like that. Possibly Restore Condition, although he does have a condition removal as well. But you know, when you look at the health bars of Cell and pretty much nobody's damaged, there's no reason to use an elite. So just spying up Eric Claire right here. And he's running pretty much the same exact thing. Dismiss Condition, Holy Veil, Reversal of Fortune, and Signet of Devotion. 4 very solid skills. He is running Zealous Benediction, so Eric Claire definitely is not running any healing. He is all protection. Zealous Benediction, of course, is going to heal you for buttload, and also if your target is below 80% health. you get all of the energy that you spent on that skill back. One thing that I will mention about Zealous Benediction, which another skill, Word of Healing, also suffers from, is monks, if you have attribute spec in Divine Favor, which you more than likely will, that the healing for Divine Favor triggers before the healing of your skill. So if the healing from Divine Favor heals your target over 50%, you will not get that energy boost from your skill. Bugged in my opinion, but it has been the case ever since Guild Wars was launched. We've known about it ever since then, and it's just a part of the game. And right now at 15 minutes and 10 seconds, we see Cell pushing very, very hard into Time Is Running Out. As I've been chatting about the monks and their abilities, we have seen numerous out members fall down. And right now they're pushing into those flag stand NPCs. Going to get a gauge here on the footmen. Both of those footmen are up trying to find that archer. I don't see him standing anywhere. So it does seem like they have gotten that footman down. Or sorry, not that footman, but that archer down. And I do think I did just see a footman fall. But with 15 seconds away from the 16-minute marker, they're sort of going to pull back just a little bit. Allow themselves to gain some more energy and restore some health before pushing in again for another stab at that gate of Time Is Running Out. Checking out Tass right here, which is the flag runner for Cell. And we've got Whistlebutt, Ginger Kid, and Itoan, all three back there trying to make a play on that flag runner. But the flag runner able to get some nice heals down right there and save himself. Ale did fall back to assist. And in fact, Tass did not have the flag at all. He was just spamming out Light of Deliverance to deal with the pressure coming from Time Is Running Out. Light of Deliverance is pretty much heal party in that it will heal everybody within your radar range. However, they have to be below 80% health for that to trigger. We did see a monk on Time Is Running Out fall just a moment ago, and that monk has fallen yet again. Vegana is resurrected, and out right here, not feeling too good at all. They are retreating all the way back into base. The Celebrities looking at getting a second morale boost in about a minute right here. And we should be seeing Time Is Running Out, pushing out the back gate right here. Task that Monk Elementalist is currently capping the health shrine by himself. However, Whistlebutt and the Guild Thief are charging out the back of that base, and he will recap that health shrine. Tass is pretty much just going to neutralize it and then return to base. Going to zoom in over on the flag stand area once again, as we see Cell just sort of poking in, taking out an archer and kind of backing off, checking out that back gate, waiting for Time Is Running Out to charge out of that back gate. And as we see them do so right now, Cell is going to adjust to their position. Saki, however, is still up by the flag stand. Or not by the flag stand, but by the gate of Time Is Running Out. And to be honest, I really don't know why he's there. But that really doesn't matter, as we see Vegana of Time Is Running Out just fell face first into the desert. Really nothing that Out could have done to prevent that. Vegana is hard rezzed up, receives a nice heal, but we should see Dark Moon or Vegana hit the deck here any moment now, because with all the DP on them and the massive Spiritual Pain and Warstrol's Demise Spike, they're just going to get cleaned off before any healing can be done on them. And in fact, we see right now Time Is Running Out is falling back to base. However, they are falling back to base throughout their back gate entrance, so that Saki isn't able to get into the base as soon as they open up that gate. Time is running out, though. Now does hold the health shrine, which is much needed with all the DP that they have stacked on them. And they are currently trying to gank the base of Cell. Whistlebutt is inside. Guild Thief is opening up that door as often as possible. And at 20 minutes, we do have a victory or death. That door will remain open now. And Itoan and Whistlebutt are going to try and make a play on the Guild Lord of Cell right here. And pretty much every member of Cell is going to fall back to their base. But not too quickly, as just by doing that, the members of Out sort of retreat out of the base of Cell. And they are going to support their NPCs as they approach the flag stand area. And as we'll see pretty much right here, a lot of the archers for Out are going to go onto the side of the base, or to the side of the flag stand right here. And as I have pointed out several times before in the past, they are going to do absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. They're just going to stand there, and they're not even going to get aggroed throughout the entire duration of this match. Even though the match is pretty much over. Whistlebutt is almost cleaned off. Ginger Kid has already been finished off. And again, with the high DP and low health now from victory or death, we should see these monks get cleaned off fairly quickly on the Out back line. And this should be pretty quick and pretty painful before time is running out. However, they are doing a much, much better job at the flag stand than I would have thought. Edge War right now, the forward man trying to take out the bodyguard on Out. Was cleaned off fairly quickly, and right now, finally, Cell eyes up Vegana. Gets a nice heal though, however, he has to use an infused health for whatever reason, even though nobody else was damaged, possibly on the bodyguard or an archer. What is Iway? Almost finished off right there, but gets a nice, healthy Zealous Benediction. And pretty much Out is getting pushed off of the flag stand area right now. So was unable to make a play on the monks of Out because they were falling back quite far. Out is just going to retreat all the way back to the Guild Lord. Possibly try to gank the Guild Lord of Cell. We do see Whistlebutt and Ginger Kid back in the base of Cell trying to make that play. But with all of the Spiritual Pain, Warstrel's Demise, and Blinding Surges coming off of these Mesmers, they shouldn't be able to do too much of anything. Back up at the flag stand. We do see that the majority of the Cell members have cleaned off those obsolete archers along the side there. And they're going to start pushing into Out's base. Edge War has been cleaned off right there. And Itoan back at the base of Cell has been cleaned off. And going to get a gauge here on Whistlebutt and Ginger Kid, which have already fallen out of the... they have fallen out of the base of Cell, and in fact, they're going in the back gate of their own base. I'm not exactly too sure why, being that the rest of the members of their party are along the front side of the base. However, it looks like they're just going to fall back to their Guild Lord, walk out with their Guild Lord, and pretty much be lambs to the slaughter, in my opinion. as their current formation, they will be unable to make any kind of play on the Guild Lord of Cell before he reaches that flag stand. And then once he reaches that flag stand, there's going to be sufficient NPC advantage for Cell. And as I have said numerous times before in the past, a significant DP disadvantage for Out. And as us gamers like to say, they are just going to get rolled. Cell does have their bodyguard and 3 archers right now, I believe. Cell, though, is looking pretty damaged right here. But that was just a strong push by Time Is Running Out. They should be getting exhausted right here in the energy department. And then after that is done, we should see these members start to fall. Vegana has already bitten the dust, and it looks like they do not have the capacity to pick Vegana up, which is one of the monks for Out. Acrylis, one of the, or the flag running emo, also spamming out those blinding surges on Saki, as well as Devon. But he should be hitting the deck shortly. Thought that they were going to take him down before Dark Moon, but that was not the case as Dark Moon hit the deck before he did. And without any healing right now, for Time Is Running Out, we should see them eye up the Guild Lord, which is just now reaching the flag stand. Out did resurrect back at the base. Dark Moon's probably going to charge out and try and lend some heals on the Guild Lord. But that Guild Lord is probably going to be finished off before he even gets out there. Guild Lord right now at about 40% health. And just after 2630, in fact, right on 2630, this one goes to Cell. Thanks for tuning in. This is Rob Konsu of Radio ITG.